Hey everybody, okay, we're gonna give it another try, round two. The other video was garbled, and thanks for letting me know. On the screen, remember this lady? Very attractive lady, seemed to have a full life, 62 years old, family. Her social media seems like so super fun, okay? She was unalived by her husband in prison, Mule Creek State Prison. Listen, any woman going up there to meet your man in a conjugal visit might want to think twice. And what's he in there for? So, this here, Brinson, let's go ahead and discuss the issue. This here, people are saying, oh, they should have these laws where these violent men should not get conjugal visits. They should also, let's address the elephant in the room. We should have women that should have self esteem to know these men are not worth your time. You are not Mrs. Fix It. I'm not going to fix him. I'm going to transform him. He may transform you, what? Into lifestyle number two. So let's go ahead and listen to this news clip. This is the lady's daughter. She's going to speak as well. Let's go ahead and get some background information and let's speak on as to why Brinson was sentenced to 4 life sentences on a robbery/murder. Okay? There were no drugs. There were no. So let me kind of go back. Basically, he was trying to rob a tavern, whom he allegedly thought was I guess the person who owned the tavern was like a drug lord or drug person, but the individual was not, just simply a guy that owned a bar. He entered to rob it, and here's what happened. But never a woman killed on a conjugal visit to a husband. A husband who's serving 4 life sentences for murder. That one is a first, for me, anyway. Still, if any inmate would strangle a loving and trusting and clearly devoted spouse, David Brinson is a pretty likely candidate. Back in 1990, Brinson stormed into a Los Angeles apartment aiming to rob a retired tavern owner who he thought was a drug dealer. But alas, there were no drugs. Wow. There were no big wads of cash, just 4 men sitting there watching a basketball game. So David Brinson made a plan. He forced all 4 of those men to the floor and he shot them one by one in the backs of their heads, also known as execution style. David Brinson was convicted of that, and he was sentenced to 4 consecutive life terms with no possibility of parole. And at some point, while David Brinson was marking off those long days at the Mule Creek State Prison in California, he connected with Stephanie Dowles on the outside. Stephanie was known to her family as Stevie, and she was a successful salon owner, a mother of 2, and a grandmother of 6. Stevie believed that she was helping inmate Brinson find redemption, thereby making him a better man, and soon she married him. Not long after that, the state of California allowed her to be alone with him during something commonly known as the conjugal visit. Nowadays, there are only 4 states that allow conjugal visits. Bet you didn't know that. California is one of them. Inmates with good behavior can earn what are called family visits that take place in apartment-like facilities on the prison grounds. And those visits can last up to 40 hours. Wow. That also surprised me. Stevie and David, they were on a conjugal visit last November 13th when David picked up the phone and told the officers that his wife had passed out. The paramedics tried to revive her, but less than an hour later, Stevie was dead. For the next 4 months, her family was led to believe that Stevie died of natural causes. But then the coroner determined something else. Coroner determined that Stevie was strangled, apparently by the man she married and conjugally visited at the prison. So let's stop and think. He's in there serving 4 life sentences. This man can't even meet the criteria for Lint Pocket Larry. He can do absolutely nothing for you but sell you a dream. Maybe some lies on paper, some letters, lies on a phone call.
This lady, literally, both of them, we'll get to the next one later, driving to your death. And I've seen this before, women of all different nationalities, different ages, young and old. Oh, I'm going to fix him. Well, he needs someone to show him some love. No, maybe you should need someone to show you some love. Number one, let's start by you loving yourself. This guy shouldn't qualify. No woman should deal with him. He's caught 4 bodies. Cold and depraved. You shot 4 men in the head? Look at the hurt that he's caused by taking their lives like this here. And for you to think you're going to be, and I can't speak for her mindset, but it makes me think women in particular, a lot seem to have this mentality in general that, oh, I can fix it. I can fix it. I'm going to show him. He just, really? She gave him a chance, and look what happened. She gave him literally driving to your death, probably putting money also on his commissary account. Give him a chance. And he done gave you your last dance. She seemed to be fun and happy on social media. This guy wouldn't even qualify. So, and someone just put a comment in there, you can't get out. Oh, you can't get out? When you're in the room with him, like a little, whoa. And I can see that because he can escape. I just was not aware of that. Not just a robbery, but to unalive, to take 4 lives. And they said that no drugs or a lot of money was found. So listen to what happened, what the daughter said. So they had someone to also, I guess, investigate and let's see. And it was determined that the person told him that, listen, number one, he was giving them like different accounts about what happened. So it makes you wonder, like, okay, so how is the weather? Is it snowing today? Is it raining? Is it sunshiny? Is it cloudy? It's all 4. We have a purple sky. Next thing you know, the sky was green. Which one is it? That kind of aroused their suspicion.
While Stevie's last visit on November 13th seemed to be the final chapter for her, we are now learning some new details. David Brinson had apparently engaged in several conjugal visits with Stevie, including one in which her 3-year-old grandson was present.
Wow.
Let that sink in for a hot minute.
And it makes me wonder, how do we know? I would just think, how do you know? What if he's hurt that child while she's in the bathroom and taking a shower? I would not trust her. Took your this is how much she must have trusted this. Oh, there's a connection. You think you know people, you know what they present to you. And I hate to say it, she really got to know him, who she was, the monster that she was dealing with, when she probably realized as he was strangling her, his hands on her neck. That was the real him. All he present to you is fake. Sometimes people will be what they perceive you need them to be to get what they want. That's what I think happened here.
He's a multiple murderer with a wife and grandson on the premises. We've also learned that Brinson attempted to take his own life back in July and failed, and yet was still allowed his visits with Stevie afterwards. As of yet, no charges, additional, I should say, have been filed.
Now, and I've seen this before. I've seen a friend go through it. Well, one person in a love relationship, is, oh, I'm going to end my life. That right there should be the red flag, because quite oftentimes when a person does that, they may not end their life, but they may end the life of the other person that's next to them. So he's so in love with you, but he tried to end his life. Not just the crime, what he's committed while he's in there. He's never coming out. 4 life sentences. He's never coming out. You're never going to be able to go out to a restaurant and have dinner and then dancing. It ain't going to happen. He put himself there. So let's go ahead and hear from the daughter. This lady right here is her daughter.
And they weren't able to resuscitate her.
So she's saying how they found out.
We found out Wednesday morning, November 13th. We got the phone call that she was found passed out and they weren't able to resuscitate her. About 2 weeks later,
Did they say anything more about it?
No.
Before we go further, did they say anything about being passed out? Did they say she'd hit her head, or that she appeared to have a seizure, or anything else that was informative other than just passed out?
No. No, when David called, he called me. He said when he woke up to go to the restroom, he found her passed out. When he went to the restroom and came back, he found her passed out. But it's like, how did you not see her passed out before you went to the restroom? You know, I also asked, you know, what time did she go to sleep? He gave me about 2-3 different times. Every time I asked him to repeat the story to me, he probably changed it about 4 to 5 times.
So what happened? Like, why did it take 4 months for them to finally come up with strangulation? I mean, 4 months seems an awfully long time to come up with something other than passed out, something as serious as strangulation, and 4 months seems a long time to let you and your family know that.
It is. 4 months. I honestly think they were trying to sweep it under. You know, it was a little short after. You know, we had help from a forensic person, and when he seen the body, he said there was evidence of abuse, so to do a private autopsy. So I really do think the prison was trying to go around it.
Evidence of abuse on her body. Evidence of abuse on her body. That's the real him. I do believe. Evidence of abuse on her real body. Again, why is he in there?
Would strangle a loving and trusting and clearly devoted spouse. David Brinson is a pretty likely candidate. Back in 1990, Brinson stormed into a Los Angeles apartment aiming to rob a retired tavern owner who he thought was a drug dealer. But alas, there were no drugs. There were no big wads of cash, just 4 men sitting there watching a basketball game. So David Brinson made a plan. He forced all 4 of those men to the floor and he shot them one by one in the backs of their heads.
So he did that. So why you shouldn't be shocked that there's evidence of abuse on her body. The man is violent. But let me guess, people change. Now we know. Now we know. Now we know. This is unbelievable. Like I said, this right here, a lot of women think, oh no, you don't understand. People need understanding. Sometimes we're lacking reasoning. Then come to find out, this lady here, why is she on the screen? She's the second woman killed at Mule Creek State Prison doing what? The very same thing. Going to visit her husband.
Curtis, this family saw our investigation last week after the murder of 62-year-old Stephanie Dowles, and they said they felt compelled to come forward with their story. We were born and raised in San Francisco. We were raised by our grandparents. And this is just a little collage of her life. Janine Rojo and her cousin weren't just close in age. We've literally been together since birth. They did everything together until July 1st when everything changed. It's just tragic what happened. Her cousin, a single mother of 1, died. Tanya Vanessa Corpus Thomas, she was 47 years old. She says Thomas spent more than half her life battling lupus, but the family learned the disease is not what killed her. For her to be taken away this way, it's gut-wrenching. The Amador County District Attorney tells KCRA3 Investigates Thomas's husband, 48-year-old Anthony Curry, is charged with her murder. It hit my gut. He's accused of strangling Thomas during a conjugal visit at Mule Creek State Prison.
He strangled her at Mule Creek State Prison. That's where he strangled her. Gee, shouldn't be surprised, I hate to tell you, Let's go ahead and get to the why. He strangled her. This is her husband, and he was in there because he was convicted by a jury of attempted murder.
Court records show Curry was already serving time in prison for a conviction of attempted murder following the 1999 shooting of his 19-year-old girlfriend at the time. He shot a girl in the head and dumped her body, so he left her body for dead. She was found at a remote truck stop in Richmond, barely alive. A gunshot wound to the head left her permanently blind and partially paralyzed. He's a violent person. Rojo says she had no idea her cousin even had conjugal visits with him. With that history of severe violence, why are they being allowed to have these visits?
With that history of severe violence, the bigger question is, why would these women even entertain it? With that history of severe violence, why would these women even entertain it? How would she entertain this man? Another nice looking woman. But see, I know a lot of women have this, I'm going to fix it. I'm going to show him what he needs. How about what you need? Maybe the ability to continue to breathe. That's what you need, and to stay away from danger. So why was her man in there? Her husband? He had shot his girlfriend. He had a 19-year-old girlfriend. Shot her, dumped her in a ditch. He shot her in the head, a single gunshot wound to the left temple, exiting through her right eye. I want to feel like she was dead, and maybe that's why he put her in a ditch. A single gunshot wound to the left temple, exiting through her right eye, leading to permanent blindness and major facial disfiguration, partial paralysis.
And dumped her body, so he left her body for dead. Already serving time in prison for a conviction of attempted murder following the 1999 shooting of his 19-year-old girlfriend at the time. He shot a girl in the head and dumped her body, so he left her body for dead. She was found at a remote truck stop in Richmond, barely alive. A gunshot wound to the head left her permanently blind and partially paralyzed. He's a violent person. Rojo says she had no idea her cousin even had conjugal visits with him. With that history of severe violence, why are they being allowed to have these visits? Unsupervised. It's something she kept to herself until she saw the story on the November death of 62-year-old Stephanie Dow.
4 months after a woman died while visiting an inmate at Muir.
So that's when they decided to go ahead and share their story. I cannot wrap my head around it. It's okay to love yourself. You don't have to be with anyone else. If you want to continue to breathe, especially a deadly dusty. Listen, what's the movie Hannibal Lecter? I hate to say it. It would not surprise me if Hannibal Lecter was real. I bet some woman, I could sit down, I love him, mother. I've got to be with Hannibal. I love him. I could see some foolish woman trying to date Hannibal Lecter. I want to marry Hannibal Lecter. Next thing you know, be a conjugal visit. He done ate or something. Something weird done happen. Your heart be on a plate, beating boom, 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 boom. And he's sitting up there asking for some ketchup. At some rate, somebody will try to date Hannibal Lecter. The bigger issue, aside from the prison, what did the women see to figure out that these men were qualified to even share space with them? I can't understand that. He did what? A 19-year-old girlfriend. A 19-year-old girlfriend, and he shot her. Oh, that's a good candidate. What the other one do? Oh, well, it's going to rob a place and kill unalive 4 men. Yeah, he thought it was a retired a tavern owner, but he thought it was a drug guy, so it's going to make a lick. Took 4 lives. and you let this into your life. What did her man do? Why is he in the
Time
prison?
in prison for a conviction of attempted murder following the 1999 shooting of his 19-year-old girlfriend at the time. He shot a girl in the head and dumped her body, so he left her body for dead. She was found at a remote truck stop in Richmond, barely alive. A gunshot wound to the head left her permanently blind and partially paralyzed. He's a violent person. Rojo says she had no idea her cousin even had conjugal visits with him. With that history of severe violence, why are they being allowed to have these visits?
Why would your cousin allow this man in her life? He shot a woman in the head, left her for dead, permanently blind, and then partially paralyzed. And you go, I want to meet that guy. It doesn't make sense. Is this about control because he's in a controlled environment? Well, he won't be cheating on me. You won't either because he's gonna unalive you. This doesn't make sense. Both my mind. Both of these ladies are attractive. We have to have a standard. It's okay. You can live a full life being alone. A happy one at that. So we're talking about the prison while they're allowing it. I got a bigger question. Why are the women allowing such depravity into your lives? I keep saying, I'm going to show him. No, he's going to show you. Two attractive women. Unbelievable. The man can't do anything for you but hand you a bag of lies. And then you end up unalived. There has to be I don't care how old or how young, 47 and 62, dating two violent inmates. Ladies and gentlemen, please don't let this happen to you. When people show you who they are, believe them. Again, with the history of these two men, I cannot fathom. I can imagine, hey, when you meet somebody, he's incarcerated. Yeah, in there for life, not getting out. What the hell you need to meet for? Well, this one here, a robbery and 4 bodies. Matter of fact, the one telling me about it, I got my third eye on you. Why you want to bring this to me? You got a policy on me that I don't know about or something? See, I said it before. When you have the situation, especially with the men, and you're like, oh my goodness, he's in trouble. He may have hurt his girlfriend or baby mother or things like that. And you can always find his mom or some female going to bail him out and be there for my son. They figure it's okay as long as it's not them. But it's a matter of time. I've showed it before videos. Women ask about their son, the rent. Next thing you know, up in flames, the house. Women asking about their son. Next thing, he's shooting his mama with a gun. I think people start to think, well, it didn't happen to me. I know this person. No, you don't. And the sad thing is, they found out who they were really dealing with at the very end. People can pretend to be what they think you need them to be at that time. And then you look up, the real them will surface. At that time, it's a matter of time. The real them will surface. And I'm afraid these two ladies found out, and they are both now unalive. Let me know what you all think about this. Thanks for watching. Feel free to comment, like, subscribe, and share. Again, ladies, there has to be a standard, and I'm out.